G'day everyone, so I'm back doing a bit of work on the daily today. So the GF8, the white wagon, had a bit of rust in the rear pillar and around the back of the boot, so I'm just gonna, I've prepped it a bit, so I'll show you what I've done. Just walking past Bay here. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, just got an Aldi bag, I've got a couple of them. You just cut down the seam to make a flat plastic sheet. You can use painter's tarp or anything, but I had these laying around, so worked pretty well. Here's a rust spot, there's one there's some rust around here as well, up there, all up here in the pillars. So I've rust converted all of it. I'm just going to prep it up and then give it a prime. You've got 4 weeks with this stuff, so you can apply it, and you've got about 4 weeks before you got to give it another coat before priming. So it goes up all in here, and it's actually not too bad for the age of the car. The rust actually is not too bad at all. This, I'm just going to prime and paint this. I'm not going to worry about bogging it because the plastic actually sits over this, so it covers that up. They won't really see it for the roadie. It's just this one here. Don't really worry about it for a roadworthy, but once I've primed that, I'm going to bog it, then sand it back, prime it again, and paint to give that the best chance of longevity. Down here as well. Got a bit of cover up there to stop some overspray, but I might go up there as well just to stop the overspray. Pretty windy day today, so watch out for that. Obviously, like they're pretty close, so I'm gonna have to cover this one up with like a bed sheet or something. But yeah, just gonna keep prepping this up. So, yeah. Yeah, just like any other prep job, you've got your masking tape, and you just go along the edge, half mask, and yeah, leave half exposed to stick it down with. So just going along, sticking that on there. It actually sticks quite well. It's pretty good because I had heaps of plastic bags laying around, so get some use out of them. So we've got that edge all taped up, just like that. Ready to go on. So we'll do the top section. I just got that lined against there. Over here, this corner's a bit bad as well, so I've just exposed a bit in that corner. I'll leave that open for now because I've got some stuff on the inside that I need to grab, so I might actually get that now. Get it out of the way. Just got some acrylic primer. So I reckon take this bumper off. It's just sitting on there. Alright, so also converted this crush bar. Behind here just had a bit of surface, but I'm not going to prime with that. I just converted it. I'm just going to leave it. It was just a tiny bit of surface rust on the paint, little specks. But with the converter it should keep it alright for a while. These pillars here also. This bar I'll probably eventually take off anyway. So I'm not going to worry about that one. And it's not even part of the body, so I'm really just fixing the body at the moment. These are quite rusty, but again, I'm not going to worry about painting those. Just the painted surfaces. I reckon I'm almost ready to prime this bit. I'm just going to go ham on it now that we don't have the bar on there. We can just, there's not really anywhere I don't want to spray in this area. So overspray really isn't an issue back here. It's all getting covered up anyway, so we should be right. Stick this down properly. Make sure it's all covered. Yeah, I reckon I'm ready to start spraying the bottom. Might even take that one off because it's not even rusty. It's going to be in the way, so fuck it, should be right. I'll just leave it there. Honestly, this is my daily. I just want it to not rust more. I'm just going to get it looking pretty in that bit. That's the only exposed piece, so all this is basically going to get covered up by the rubber that goes around it. But yeah, I'm just going to paint this line basically, and obviously the exposed bits up here. But I don't know, I might just get away with priming this bit because that gets covered up by a tail light. This is all covered, that gets covered. So I mean, prime, I've only got a little bit of paint, so that's sort of why I don't want to go crazy on it. I've only got that much, so yeah, it's a little brush, so I'm going to have to just apply that by hand. But that is, I think that's acrylic. It should be acrylic. Custom made bottle. I just hope it's the same colour. Looks to be pretty damn close. Close enough. Anyway, maybe a bit creamier, but when it's just there, you're not going to be able to tell anyway. Hopefully the primer will give that the best chance of being vibrant. So yeah, I'm going to start priming these bits here, so watch me. I've just got my phone sitting on the the rear wiper of my Forester, but I mean, yeah, it works. I'll actually leave it forward a bit like that so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully that holds it. Should just put some against there. Use that. Yeah, nice. Alright, let's get going. So yeah, rust converter is sort of like a primer, but it won't really act the same. So you want to prime after rust converting. In most applications anyway, especially automotive. Start with this bit here. I'm going to apply pretty close, try and do it when it's not windy, just to avoid overspray. make sure if you're in a non-ventilated area, definitely wear some PPE like a face mask and goggles. I'm only not doing that right now because I'm in a ventilated area and like I can still smell it, but it's not gonna affect my lungs. But you want to make sure you do that if you're in a non-ventilated area, obviously. But yeah, it's coming along alright. I might actually tape this bit up now. Sort of ready to do it, so I might almost have to do that from the inside, but we'll see. I might be able to get away with doing it just on the outside. I don't know if I should line it or I'll probably just tape it. Yeah, I'll just do tapes in a few different spots, so just small bits of tape like that. And this plastic, these bags are they stick very well to tape, so you just do it like that and just go along. That will definitely be good enough. Especially that one as well. That there. Just follow it along so you can see. So originally it was just hanging, but because that line's the only rusty bit, and on the inside it's really nice still. So I'm just going to tape it straight up on the inside like that. Just all the way along, and then just like that, another bit of tape there, and just primer it up. So yeah, let's do it. Alright. Hoping she's ready. So I won't worry about this panel here because it's still a fair way away from here, so I'm just going to be mindful of that. Bit of overspray on the arm here, the strut, won't really matter because once that goes down it'll just wipe it away anyway. Just got to watch that inner window glass, but with that bag there it should be good. So we'll hit up that pillar, see how we go. Doing it myself, save paying bloody someone $1.5 grand to do it for me, so saves money. This has cost me like, all up probably like 80 bucks for all the bits and all the paint, everything, so a lot cheaper than 800, so someone will easily charge you 800 bucks to fix rust, easily. And it's quite easy to do yourself, you just need to have the confidence and watch a video like this. Definitely help, that's how I learnt. YouTube. One thing I do have on one of my other Subarus that I should probably put on this one is a rust stopper little module thing that connects to your battery, and it grounds out the car, but it runs a current through the car in order to sort of stop rust forming. This current, it stops rust forming wherever the current is flowing. So you plug it into your battery and that's how it works. I've never heard of one until the other day because it was on one of the Foresters I've bought, so I might actually take it off that and put it on this because this probably needs it more at the moment. Take up this side now. Got some food apparently. Yum.
There's a king pieces. And there's a king pieces.
Oh my god. I love you. Yum yum. Mmm. Zucchini cheese, what's up? What else is on there?
Pasta sauce.
Pizza sauce. That's awesome. Mmm. Fuck yeah. Thank you.
How hot?
Mmm. Mmm. Alright. So I'm going to give it along here a quick paint, quick prime. Right after that, we're ready to hit it with the old touch-up bottle. So after priming the rest, hit up with this. Now I'm only gonna touch up probably this bit after bogging it. So I'm gonna bog it now. I'm gonna bog here. Give it another quick. I'm gonna sand it back. Give another quick coat of the primer, and then a bit of the paint. That's probably one of the only places I'm going to paint, because the rest gets covered up. I don't really have a whole lot in here, so I don't want to go around with a paintbrush around everything. And primer, it's okay to leave just primer, especially with the rust converter, because the rust converter and primer, plus the primer on top, it should hold back the rust for at least another, I would say 4 to 5 years, I reckon, before I'll have to thinking about cut that out, actually replacing it with a piece of steel welded in there. So before I think about doing that, hopefully this will hold it back just a little bit longer, just to get it on the road so I can actually drive it, because it's just been sitting in the driveway for so long. I'm so keen to drive it. I mean, can you blame me? Look at it. It's so sexy. Alright. So I'm gonna hit that pillar up with the primer now. So you can watch me do that. Alright. Awesome. So I think I'm done with the primer. It's all along here, up around there, on that. So the rust is pretty bad up in here as well, on this one in particular. So I've just done it extra thick along there, on that side as well. Also this spot, I've done a few coats on. Before I apply the bog, and then after the bog I'll do like 2 more coats, after sanding obviously, and then just paint over it. Just the exposed areas I'm going to paint with the brush. So probably just this whole bit here, because I haven't really painted on this bit, on this side, so this might almost get away with no paint at all. It's not going to be fucking pretty, but honestly it'll work, it'll last. It's just to get it on the road, just so it's a bit more, it's just lasts longer really, because you can't have rust on your car. No matter what car it is, if you have rust, it's not really roadworthy anymore, because it'll spread unless it's addressed. So This one's pretty, so I rust converted this whole, I think it's 3 times over the period of 2 months. And I've applied the thickest coats of primer on this bit as well, because I'm not painting this, so this will just be left like that. But it should stay like that for as long as it needs to. Here was pretty rusted, but again, just applied pretty thick coats. All got up all in there, because it's just, yeah, it's still there. Like the rust converter, it converts the rust to a stable compound that doesn't spread to other metal areas. It just stops it from spreading and makes it paintable, makes it stable. So everything, every bit of rust that was on this is now stable. So but yeah, so I'm gonna let this primer dry, and I'll fire it back up again once I'm getting ready with the paintbrush.